to another episode of the Orbital Drop Pod, a Halo Flashpoint podcast. I am joined by Randy and Joe, and we've got some news. We covered it. Randy and Joe did a short video, but we're going to dive in a little bit more. We've got news, and it's exciting. How's it going, boys?
Good. I've been teased by Wargames, and I'm ready to be teased a bit more.
Yeah, this is quite literally a tease, and they've even got the images you can't quite zoom in on.
I worked really hard to read that new Elite order, which I think will be good, but situational. So sounds like a good order, special order.
What do you think, Joe? Have you been teased sufficiently?
I mean, I yes and no. Yes, as in I've been sufficiently teased, and I'm ready to get in there. But also, I could always use more teasing. I just ready.
There's a lot. We've actually had a lot, at least in our world, our Halo world. We've had quite a bit of going on. We had our first local event, which was a lot of fun. We had the Rumble Pit, and Randy did a lot of work to that to make it enjoyable. We kind of riffed off of some of the UK rules, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We had a pretty decent turnout. Had some people that we're all kind of learning the game, and we're all kind of learning the game together. And it was really good. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Wargames information and
how dumb Frag is on Strongholds.
Yes, we are going to talk about Frag. And so that will be what we cover today, which because we had some frags. There was a couple of elite players at the last event, and as everyone is aware of by now, they all have plasma grenades. So we all got to experience plasma grenades. So that was a lot of fun. But first, we're going to dive in a little bit to the Wargames teaser. Randy and Joe did talk about it fairly at least, like, get a little pass on it.
If you want the bullet point of each thing, you can watch that video for sure. But
yeah, I'm sure most of you have seen it by now. If you haven't, go to the Mantic website, click on the Wargames Expansion pack. There's a lot more info. They go into more detail of what's in the pack. So we're just going to hit things that we're the most excited about from the Wargames Expansion. So who wants to go first?
I do, because mine's pretty simple. I'm just excited for new miniatures. That's kind of like whenever I think of Halo, I think of Spartans. Whenever I think of Spartans, I think of customization, and just having that's where I have my fun is with the armors. So just being able to having new models to paint, that's the thing I'm excited for.
So Joe, let me ask you this, because this is your first war game that you've played, and the models come pre-assembled. Now, me and Matt were used to games where they come on sprues. And how would you feel if they came on sprues? Because if they came on sprues, they could give us like different head and hand options, and you could like pick what weapon you're throwing on which armor, which is really my only main complaint on some of this stuff is like, I would really like to have all my dudes with like recon helmets, or, I like to do asymmetrical shoulder pads when I'm playing Infinite. I like doing that kind of stuff. So would that scare you away as a player new to skirmish army games?
That's a great question, Randy, and I would love to answer that. The short answer, no, that would not scare me. Long answer, bring it and give it to me, because I recently gotten into these like little blocky models of Transformers, and those come on sprues, and so I've kind of gotten to where I'm a little bit more comfortable putting them together, and they do add such a level of that's the one. They add a nice level of kind of interactivity with it that you don't get from just like regular pre-assembled, pre-printed minis. So, and I like to do the asymmetrical armors too. A quick aside, where do you put your larger pauldrons? Like
The gun dominant hand, right? Like whatever's sticking out. That way, when you're shooting, it's the most offended, right? So like if you're shotgunning on the right side
Yeah.
or the left side, then the pauldron goes on the left side, and vice versa if it's right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my thinking.
So that's mine. Like whatever's opposite of my gun hand, because of my gun hand, I've got it here. Like if my assault rifle, I've got it out.
Yeah, you
I'm
want
going to
that.
put it on my left pauldron. That's more exposed for more cover. So, all right, glad we're all in agreement.
That's great. I haven't really thought a lot about it yet. I think it's probably something that is in the future. I remember when I first started with X-Wing. X-Wing was pre-painted, pre-assembled miniatures, and I was like, this is great. And then they were like, hey, there's a Star Wars Legion game coming out, and I was like, ooh, sprues, I don't know. And then, as I got into it, it was kind of something I got into. Now I love it. So I think I think they're kind of doing it within their own game. I think they started with the pre-assembled, pre-paced, and I think maybe as time goes on, we slowly turn into sprues. And I really like that. I think they'll be like I said, they could make a pack that's just like, hey, different armors, and everyone would just go crazy. It'd be like, because that's I feel like a big part of Halo, especially like Halo Infinite. Is a lot of it. You're just like, yeah, I'm collecting these armors. I want to have these cool sets. It's like the aesthetics to it, and I just think that'd be something that'd be really cool. And with sprue, it'd be pretty easy to do.
Yeah. I was scared of sprues initially because the first sprue thing I built, I was like a tween, and it was a Gundam. And I just thought you're supposed to pop those things out with your fingers. I didn't know you needed like cutters. And so my fingers were so jacked up by the end of that. Yeah, it was terrible.
There we go. Young Randy.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Oh, okay, well, that's great. I am excited. The models do look good. I'm a fan of the CQC helmet. I feel like it was either CQC or CQB back in Halo 3. That was one of the early helmets you got.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always had a special
CQB,
special place in my
Mine
heart.
was the EOD in Halo 3.
So yeah, obviously we're all going for the Hayabusa, but that was that was a little bit of work. So
yeah, I want the high. I like the Yoroi, the new one with the antlers.
Yes,
that one's sick.
It's okay, so I guess I'll go next. I'm really excited about the equipment, or what I think is going to be the equipment. They've listed 38 red upgrade cards, which is different now. Currently, the upgrade cards are that kind of blue-green color. So I think there's 10 more in this pack, which I think are just more weapons. I think the 38 red ones are covering everything in this pack and in the Spartan set of the game. And I think we're going to be able to pay points to put those on. And I'm really excited about that. I think it'll really open up some things for me. As the thing we kind of talked about was we want that little crunch, that little tactile, that list building aspect of it. I mean, there is some of that in this game, but it's more like, which piece goes in the slot. This will be like, hey, what items are good on what kind of points dependent. I'm very excited to see where it goes. And I think this will open it up maybe to more of where we kind of struggled getting people to play is like the more traditional war gamers are like, hey, this is really fun, but it's kind of light. So if we could, get the extra points, the extra crunch, I think that'll go a long way to maybe, growing the game locally, at least competitively.
Yeah, I agree. The equipment, the first thing I was thinking of was like, man, if I could start with the grapple shot or thruster, like that would change your gameplay up so much, knowing you can go that extra cube or you can get that extra item, that heavy weapon from like around the corner. Like, yeah, super exciting. Going to change up gameplay a lot.
Very cool. And I'm interested to see the points because that's going to, obviously that's going to be a big deal of which items are good, which items are not.
I know the combat knives are gone already off those cards, so I have a feeling those are going to be some points.
Which they are quite lethal. The combat knives are. The energy daggers are okay. The combat knives are very good. So that will be, something. I wonder how much they cost. And I do see an icon for it's not the OG pistol, but that is the a pretty good pistol. So
yeah, I think I looked at it as the Halo 4 or 5 pistol. Yeah.
So a solid pistol. Not the Halo 1 pistol. If Chief picked up the Halo 1 pistol, it would be over
Yep.
Yeah.
for everyone.
Just
It would be
don't even set the terrain out.
Yep.
Just pack it up and go home.
That thing should have its own special order.
Yeah, it'd
It's
be
just like
range 6
kill shot.
AP3
Yeah.
lethal.
range infinite.
Yeah.
If you roll three hits, they're dead.
No,
Yeah.
speaking of range infinite, if we're bringing back weapons from Halo 1, give me the sniper shotgun. Because I just, man, that Halo 1 shotgun, you can, on Hang 'em High, you could snipe with it. And it was so much fun.
Now we are getting a new shotgun. I don't think it's the Halo 1 shotgun, but it looks a little beefier than our friend the Bulldog. So hopefully we get a little bit more
I
power.
think it's called the M45. So Halo Reach one, pump
Yeah.
action should be good.
Okay, Randy, what is something you're the most excited about?
Ooh. I think the easy answer is Spartan laser. I want to know if it's going to be like a beam. So if I can do a line, will it hit everything in the line sort of situation? I think that's the easy answer. I think my other thing would probably be probably just the points, honestly. I don't know if it said if there's going to be a new game mode in the book. I hope there is. Not that I'm tired of the ones we have. It's just
Yeah, give
I feel like every time
give me more.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to show more where the game's going if we get a new game mode. But yeah, I don't know. You guys' answers are great. I love your guys' answers. I'll tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can take the Needler as a starting equipment, so I can finally just run Ford Needler guys. So
I think that could
as
be
God intended,
points
Fire Team
as
Prince
the
over here.
Forerunners intended. Fire Team
Randy-
Prince, yes.
Yeah, Randy running Fire Team Prince over here.
Would you like to come outside and play some oddball?
Yeah, whatever moon they get those crystals from intended. So yeah, no, that could be good potentially because points dependent. I'm going to be saying that a lot, so get ready for that in the future. Points dependent. That's a rapid fire gun. You could pin. Giving everyone access to pin does seem pretty good.
Well, and if I could put it on guys with a better than a 5+ shooting stat,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go. Let me dual wield them, Mantic. Let me dual wield them.
And I would think it would be cheaper than an assault rifle. Because I don't think the stat line's quite as good as the assault rifle. The range is worse.
Yeah, because it's weight of fire 1
Yeah, so
on that, right?
Yes.
Does it have explosive?
No.
It has lethal. It has lethal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have any AP, which the assault rifle doesn't either. But I think the assault rifle is a little bit easier to get pins with. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was cheaper. So that might be your go-to. I want to give somebody the ability to pin people gun. So I'm excited. I'm kind of surprised. Which I'm good with it. I'm kind of surprised they're doing new cards for everybody, which they cleaned up the UI a little bit. They did change some equipment on everybody. So I think they probably have been playtesting. They've been seeing people play. They've been looking at stuff. They took away long from the plasma rifle, which is great. So I think they've been making some adjustments, which is good. I feel like they had a good base with this being based off of a game that's been around for a while. And I think they've, kind of seen what people have been doing and they're adjusting for that. So it's all positive for me. I don't really have any complaints.
Yeah. Here's hoping this Bethesda gets
Get some
a little
love.
boost.
Mm-hmm. That would be great because I spent a little bit of time on my Commando and I want to play him. So, and I like that helmet too. So it's fun. So, but yeah, no, great. Excited about War Games. Leave if you're excited to let us know what you're most excited about from the War Games. And then hopefully it is getting toward the end of February. We will see some information soon.
I'm surprised they just kind of put that image out without like a video. I don't know. But I guess we couldn't speculate wildly if they did that. So
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, also because you said that, they're probably going to post one like tomorrow or whatever,
Sweet.
whenever. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I don't foresee us getting any more big announcements until Adepticon.
yeah, hopefully this
Because
is
that would be the sweet
Mhm.
spot of like the stuff coming out. Like some of the Wave 2 stuff will be out, and then they'll have a lot of eyes on things already, I guess. So
I think they're probably aiming to have this available at Adepticon probably in some form. That'd make a lot of sense, and then probably tease the next wave while they're there. Is what I would do. So
did we all pre-order Wave 2?
yeah,
I don't think I did.
I pre-ordered all the things.
Yeah,
bundle.
all the new stuff bundle. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Same.
And I should have pulled the trigger on that organized play kit. I did not, and I regret it because it's gone now. So
Yeah, same. Same.
won't make that mistake again. So, but very good. Excited about that. I guess I'll move on from that to talk about the Rumble pit we had. That was 2 weeks ago, almost now at this point.
Seems like just yesterday.
But also a lot longer.
It was a good time. We had a winner among us. That was Randy. He won the event.
Well, Master Chief won.
good.
Master
Master
Chief
Chief good.
Master Chief
My
win.
ability to roll special orders on command dice.
Yep. So I unfortunately had some life stuff that made me have to leave early. But Randy and I played a riveting game round 1, and we changed the format a little bit. I was thinking about it. We took less weight off the achievement points, but in hindsight, with the way scoring is based off achievement points, we might need to try to figure something out for how that kind of bakes into the final standings. Which would
You didn't like it being over the whole tournament day?
Well, I like it. I was just thinking about, like, in our game, you had more achievement points than me. So if we would have scored it in that round, you would have won. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I just don't know.
I kind of like that, though. That way you can't just play for achievements to win a particular game, but it does help your overall tournament standing.
Yeah. And it was just a little wonky with the way Best Coast Pairings is set up because they're using the UK format, so they wanted you to put your achievements in.
Yeah.
And so then I'm assuming we put them in at the last round.
Yep.
So anyway, so that would have affected the third round game potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
So anyway, that's just something with Best Coast Pairings, the way it comes out. We could have manually done it if we needed to, but I do like the idea of kind of limiting it. I think everyone kind of is on board with that. I think they're going to limit the effect of the achievement points in future tournaments, official tournaments. So I think we're onto something there. I really like the achievement point system. I think that's really fun, and it was really thematic. It was good. It played really well. I was just really pleased with, how it went. We had mostly, I think everyone had played at least a game or two that went. And so I think that helped. Obviously, there's still a lot of keywords and rules that we're not all 100% on. So it's good. The rules are fairly easy to navigate. And I feel like Randy and I looked in to try to learn as much as we could to try to know some of the stuff off the top of our head. But, it doesn't hurt to look it up. And we printed off some quick guide stuff that helped a lot. So I don't know. I bought everybody Mountain Dew and Doritos for the deal.
Absolutely.
So
it's not a LAN party without Mountain Dew and Doritos.
So we had a good time. I had a lot of fun, and so I'm excited to do it again. Hopefully we can, grow it even more and just have the thing we continue to do. I guess you guys want to talk about some games. I'll talk about Randy and Mike's game. We played. It was first round, so we had set rounds. So first round everyone played Slayer. Second round everyone played
CTF.
Capture the Flag. Third round everyone played Strongholds. So we played Slayer. Master Chief is really good. Randy got his double kill, triple kill, pretty much, off the back of Chief. I did usually, and it was unfortunate. My Deadeye kind of has a thing for killing Master Chief. And
he's good.
One
Deadeye's the one that can get Chief. Yeah,
Chief counter. So
we've played probably 2 or 3 games with me playing Deadeye, you playing Master Chief, and in every game, I feel like I've gotten like a 12 hit attack off, 10 plus hit attack off.
Joe did that to me in the game we played too. Like there's just like you're shooting Chief all the time anyways. It's inevitable that Deadeye's going to pop off at least one time.
The optics, you get the clear shot, you get the optics, you get the high ground.
You and throw then you get rate of fire or fast transition going.
You throw in your extra dice. Yeah, you hopefully have picked up another weapon by then, and you just light them up, and it feels really good. And I feel like you need that good feeling because probably the round before that, Master Chief has spent 8 dice and scooted across the board and stabbed your whole team and kind of made you sad. So it's really good. So but killing Master Chief was big for me because I think there were 2 turns in our game where you didn't have your special order dice. 1 or 2 turns where you didn't have your special order dice.
And yes, at least one. I think one I didn't have Chiefs, and then another one I didn't have the other Mark 7.
Yeah.
I brought.
So killing tacticians is always good. So if you can get Chief off the board, then he's not giving them the 3 extra dice, and he's probably not getting a special order. So it kind of messes up the whole game plan for him.
I think later in the day in another one of my games, I intentionally did not go early with Chief because he had 1 wound left.
Yes.
And so I was like, all right, he's either going to attack and kill him, or he doesn't, and then I'll just get to go with him anyways at the end of the round. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the hardest part with Chief. The hardest part with Chief is you're not going to usually get the chance to go last.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to get him in a good spot when you do get him. And yeah, if you go first, you can do the big splashy murder everybody play, but then, everybody's waiting there. This is another game I played the Stalker Deadeye along with the regular Deadeye. And I just don't think it has it right now. Maybe in the future we can change some stuff, but it is having to do the long action shoot is very restrictive. And Randy was doing fun things like picking up a Covenant carbine and pinning me repeatedly, so I could not use my long action sniper shot. So very, very not fun. I think the first round, Chief scooted to the carbine, knocked me back into the edge of the map like 4 or 5 times.
Oh yeah, that was
kept
awesome.
Doing it. So when you're pinned, you don't get to take your long action shoot unless you're spending a shoot dice. So it's kind of unfortunate. So it's just so much easier to just do your move, take your shot with the Deadeye, and just have the full sniper scope. Is 2 dice, but it's just I just don't think it's worth it compared to optics.
I think it's harder on Slayer too, just because if you have an energy sword, you're gonna move to that guy to go kill him, right? But if it's on Strongholds, I think you could probably set your Deadeye up in places to cover multiple Strongholds without scoring, right?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, I can shoot these areas, but it's like a pain for them to come get me now too. So
yep. Oh, and so before we get too far into it, I did DMR Deadeye, Stalker Rifle Deadeye, Assault Rifle Tactician Mark 7, and then the Needler Brawler. Randy did Needler Brawler, Assault Rifle. Or was it the Pulse
Carbine Mark 7?
Pulse Carbine Mark 7, and then Master Chief. And what did you run, Joe?
I ran 2 Mark 7 Tacticians with the assault rifles, a Deadeye with the DMR, and Bulldog Brawler.
Yeah. I think if I would redo that list, if I was going to do it again, I think I'd do 2 DMRs and 2 assault rifle Mark 7s. I think I'd probably drop the Brawler, even though I liked him, but I think I would drop him if I did it again. I definitely would do the DMR Deadeye just because it's so much easier to use the DMR Deadeye. But the Brawler was tough. I had a hard time.
I think that would be good. It's just your assault is a lot weaker. But the Mark 7s aren't terrible at assaults.
Yeah.
So
yep. I'm hoping the extra tactician dice and then having the extra. Well, I had rapid fire because I was using the Needler, but hopefully having more opportunities to maybe snapshot, and then it's 4 up in melee, so it's not horrible. But yeah, that's what I would do. There were a couple people running the elites, which I think they were all just doing the base. I don't think anybody was doubling up Spartan sets, so there weren't 2 double swords. But It was the base elite team, which I think is really good still. And Preston ran one other thing. I couldn't remember what it was, but so I think it was
he ran the base team, except he swapped the Svezda for the one with the center shot.
yeah. Which is interesting.
Which annoys me just as much in Flashpoint as it does in Infinite.
Yep.
So we had a good time. It was a 3-round event deal. So Randy won on the day. Played really well. I'm sad that I didn't get to beat you, but that's okay. I'll take the draw.
You even got to play me.
I did get to play, so that's fun. So I had my shot, and I did not. I missed. So it was good.
Yeah, I'm not sure who would have won, like, because it was pretty back and forth each round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Like,
and we were both.
Chief is awesome, but being down one guy, like,
hurts.
He has to be awesome every round, or it is really painful.
Yep. And it was a lot of fun. I feel like there is some positional stuff with the respawn I think is interesting because you really don't want to be by your starting deployment area
when Chief's respawning.
When Chief is respawning because he's coming.
And a lot of coming.
You could. It's like you could hear like him pulling a leather belt off of his Mjolnir armor, and it's just like, "Daddy's home."
Yeah, it's just
that's the sound of the sword sparking up,
and it is so thematic because I just keep thinking about it. It's like spawn flip. It's like the spawn's gonna flip if I keep doing. I gotta get out of there. So, but it was good. We had an interesting layout. We used some non Halo terrain for that, but it was pretty square though. So it really
was quite open though. There was it was hard for me to hide from the dead eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily open shots, but it wasn't. There was not a lot of the big thing in the middle was not really a line of sight blocker.
Easy to get cover, hard to hide.
Yeah, so which did become a thing because I was always trying to clap back at Chief after he, ripped through me a little bit. So that was good. I really love playing the game. It's just a lot of fun. It's really quick, and I feel like everybody that was there had a good time, which is what we're going for. And I think that's what's gonna grow the game is that I feel like everybody had a good experience, and it's light enough and it's quick enough that I think sometimes with bigger games, you take all this time, you build your whole army, and you spend like hours and hours getting everything painted. You get your huge army, full size game. You go and you just get dominated because there's a lot to learn. And I think it's a little potentially discouraging. So I think this avoids a lot of that. That's quick.
100%.
It's quick. You've got these guys. I mean, you didn't have to paint them if you want to. It's just super, super fun. 4 guys. Just a lot of quick action. And I feel like you're kind of in it and it feels thematic. And even when necessarily might not be going your way and stuff, big attacks. So, you can clear stuff off the board. And then even if you do die, it's coming right back. So outside of Slayer, not even necessarily a huge bad deal for you to get. There's a couple times it's like, I kind of wanted Randy to kill me in spots, even in Slayer, just to get my full action.
There was a couple times I didn't. Just melee because I was trying to set up for the triple kill.
Which you did pull off, unfortunately for me. But yes.
Tactician 4 is really good.
Yeah. So. But yeah, no, it was great. Excited to do it again. I think the next event we will be doing will be post Wargames. So it might be a totally different, landscape.
Different beast.
So
everyone's going to be running Chiefs at the table.
Hey,
I don't know. We'll see.
But we talked about some annoying guns and maybe some annoying weapons. And so I think we probably need to talk about Frag a little bit. Our good friend Frag, found on all elites currently. And every time you see a grenade on the field, let me go really quick we have a screenshot of it. Let me share it.
Yeah, while you're looking at that, I'll kind of talk about one of my games from the tournament. So round 3 for me was Strongholds, and I was playing against elites. And yeah, every time the plasma comes in your square, it doesn't matter if you get hit or take wounds, as long as they make the very easy, did it go into the square I wanted it to, you're getting scattered out. And that's really tough when you only have 3 activations. There was times where I was like, I'm gonna not kill this elite this round, so he doesn't have a frag at the start of next round. Because the way the respawns are on that, they can get to range 3, which I think is another misstep there. It's too easy to remove someone, so I don't know if they need to they should at least give you the limitation of you have to wound somebody to scatter them or something, or I don't know, but it just seems too easy.
I think Stronghold is tough with chief lists in general, just because you're down a person.
I think it's just tough though, Spartan versus elite.
And I think elites are good at it. I think if you could, which sometimes you can't because you have to kill them to get them off the point, it's if they threw the grenade, it's like, hey, that elite's kind of not as threatening, So if you could keep them alive and maybe they're not in a position to score, then it's like, hey, maybe leave that guy alone because he's coming back with a scatter sticky grenade. So for the audio people, if you don't know, Frag is kind of explosive, and Frag I think are some of the tougher interactions to kind of the whole process thing. We had to go over it a couple times during the event. So there's explosive where you do your 3 dice test. You're looking for a success. And if you get the success, it goes in the cube you want. If you don't, then it scatters. Then once you're done with that, you then go to frag, which is frag in, which is number. So on the weapons, it'll say frag 4, frag 5, frag 3, whatever. So then you roll that many dice. You're looking for 4-ups, and then those are your wounds. And then the models in the cube roll the 3 dice survive. If you roll frag once, everyone rolls their 3 dice individually. So if you did a square with 4 minis in it, 1 frag roll, 4 survive rolls. And then, you do successes, hits, then you resolve the damage. And then, as Randy mentioned, everyone gets thrown. So it is a very, it makes sense once you get into it, but it's kind of like this is a multi-step process. But it is very strong. And I think we're kind of skewed toward it maybe feeling stronger than it is because elites are the only ones that have access to it without picking up a weapon. And I feel like the plasma grenades are better than the frag grenades. So it's like there's one group that has access to it. And not only do they have access to it, they have access to like the best version of this.
And they respawn with it.
And it's a respawn. So I think that's kind of why it feels like it does, but it does. It feels good if you're an elite player, but it does feel bad if you're on a point. And so you really have to be smart about when you're going into the point, who has frags. I feel like you just have to expect it. So like if you're going to that 4 VP stronghold and you're not moving last and they have an elite with a plasma grenade, it's like, hey, well, guess what's happening, So, and then really you don't even want to stack multiple people in the same stronghold because they all leave. So it's tough. I think it's probably uphill against elites on Stronghold.
Yeah. I think basically I had Chief fight for the middle, and then I had my other 2 guys fighting for the other one, and basically I'd put one in there, and then when he gets scattered out, I'd send the other one up. Because it was on like a height 2 tower. And it was just like those 2 fighting for their lives to get back up on this tower. And then Chief was just like fighting 2 other elites by himself.
And one thing Chief does have going for him in that situation is he does not get pinned. Where other people get pinned. So it's like a double whammy. You've been thrown off the objective. You're now pinned. If you want to go back to the objective, you're either spending a move dice or you're taking your entire turn to get up and then move to the point. And then potentially get fragged again.
I think if they add a Spartan that's like George from Reach or something, like a Juggernaut card where he's got like the extra heavy armor and like he's like can't be scattered or something.
Yeah.
Or you have to wound to scatter him. Maybe like that would give good optionality for Spartan players to be able to play around that a little bit better. But who knows? Points might change. Although it looks like the elite cards still come with a plasma grenade base, so we'll see.
Yeah, from if our reading the fuzzy cards is correct, they have fists and they have grenades still. So I think it's less bad. So say frag grenade is affordable, and you throw frag grenade on all your Spartans, and say equipment comes back when you respawn, and we're playing a respawn mode where there's going to be respawns. You can kind of play the same game. I know it's not as effective, but you can at least knock them off the point as well. So then it kind of turns into, at least everyone has the same tool in this situation, or a similar tool.
Yeah.
And I think Spartans are a lot better at shooting than elites, so it might be maybe something worth doing.
No, so just start with better guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true.
Hey, so Joe, did you run into any frustrations with Frag, or did you have a particular game from the tournament that stuck out to you?
There was, so my Stronghold match, I was up against no, I wasn't up against, I don't think I was up against elites, but I just so happened, my spawn just so happened to have been right next to the 4 victory point Stronghold. So I was able to just kind of, on my first action, just go cap that. I wound up winning because I, instead of focusing on trying to get kills, I just wanted to, my main focus was the objectives. I'm that nerd who used to play Overwatch as Reinhardt, and just like, if you want protection, you come to the point with me.
Yeah.
If you go do lone wolf stuff, you're on your own. So it was nice to be rewarded that way in Flashpoint.
Yeah, I don't think you got a ton of achievements that day. Like, you definitely got most of your points off of like match victory points.
Yeah.
You did play Elites round 1 though, correct?
I did.
Yeah, Mitchum's Elites.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you get stuck a lot with plasma grenades?
There was
at least one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it hurt, because I killed one of his elites, and then I was so stoked. And the next activation, he spawned, like his spawn was right behind all of my dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, there's a mouse in the house, and is it gonna hurt? And it did. So
yeah,
I think he wound up tossing a plasma grenade, and 2 of my guys might have been occupying the same square, and at the end of the resolution of that plasma grenade, they were not occupying the same square, because one of them kicked the bucket, and the other one got knocked up against the wall and then pinned. So that was fun.
I was super glad the 2 elite players had to play capture the flag against each other and deal with each other's agile crap for that one.
That is funny.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up something else, but I think I might have lost it. It was about elites, I think. I don't know. Sorry.
I do like the elite play of, oh, you killed my sword elite. It's like, well, hopefully you're far away from your back spawn, because hopefully I have a move dice maybe, and a plasma grenade and an advance. So
that's
you got it.
You saying the thing about the command dice. So the command dice space where you get the extra, you can go 2 times in a row or beginning of the next round. I think that might be one of the best counterplays against Chief. So elites only get 2 command dice, but there was a couple times in that last game he got that. And so, my thing is like, oh, I'm always going to go first in the next round because I'm down an act. But he used it once or twice to start the next round first, and that hurt.
Oh, sure. Yeah, take away the initiative.
So he can actually get the jump on Chief a couple times, yeah.
Yeah. And the sword elite is not Master Chief, but it is very good.
It is good, yes.
And then that sword still, it's got EP3, right? So it still goes through.
Yeah. And they got bashed, so they get an extra die.
So it is very strong. And so that would be, Spartan sword guy, might be like budget Master Chief. We'll have to see what his stat line is.
Yeah, I'm interested. I hope the grav hammer guy feels better. For some reason, picking up the grav hammer did not feel great, but I picked it up with Chief, who had the sword though too, so that might be why. But
it's
yeah.
more knockbacky from the weapon profile.
Yeah,
got a lot of
it's
knockback.
probably really good on Stronghold, honestly.
So what the really cool play is with the grav hammer is if you're in close combat with somebody and grav hammer them, it has knockback, but since you're in the same square, you can pick which square it goes to. So if there's a wall, you can always hit them into the wall. So it's just something that's really cool to.
Yeah,
You could
that's
do
pretty.
like
That'd be pretty nasty with Chief if you had a couple movement dice, because you could knock back and then
follow
assault
up,
them,
knock
and then
back,
assault them again.
follow up, knock
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
And the grav hammer sounds just as annoying in Flashpoint as it is in Infinite.
Yeah, because even if they miss you, it's like, I didn't want to go this direction. Now I'm flying in a random direction. It's like,
oh, that's okay. I didn't need my shields anyway. That's fine.
So no, it's good. I just am tickled how thematic this game is and how it continues to be, and then how even when you play more, it's like it's really well thought out.
I was talking to Joe about that, and I was like, this is his first war game that he's playing, but he's played a ton of Halo. So they've done a good enough job that if you know what's good in Halo, you pretty much know what's good in this game too. And things kind of work how you expect it. Oh, there's two dudes in a square. I should throw this sticky grenade there. And yeah, it does sticky grenade things. So good on you, Mantic, for like making the game thematic, but also mechanically thematic.
And also, Master Chief is like such an icon. I've been playing Halo since the first one came out, like 20 some odd years ago. Like when Randy is coming at me with the energy sword as Master Chief, and he absolutely just dices my stuff. I'm not even mad. I'm just like, get him, John.
Yeah,
like, let's go, bruh.
He's got to be good, right? It's like Legion. Like Darth Vader can't be bad, you know, right?
It was just the one time he had me set up. He was going for the triple kill. I tried to deny it. I failed. He had the sniper rifle and a bunch of shoot dice, and he like moved in, stabbed a guy, and then like sniped that guy. Another shoot dice, sniped that guy, and it's like, you really just killed 3 of my guys in one activation. It's like, I mean, you can't be mad. You can't be mad about it. So,
yeah,
but
it's like I've read some of the books too. Like, that's at all. Like the maths, like it checks out.
He's him. He's him.
Bro.
He is that guy. And
I really hope Points lets me bring him and 3 other dudes.
Yeah, I would do I would do whatever you need to do. Skimp whatever you need to skip to get 4 activations with the legend.
Yeah.
And so that would be cool if we ever get, Marines or ODSTs.
Or ODSTs, yeah.
Or something
really
cheap
good
that we could
ODSTs.
get pad activations a little bit like Chief and Friends. I think it'd be worth it. Now, I don't know if there's going to be as much tactician, but Chief kind of brings his own tactician, so it's not as big of a concern. But that'd be really good because I can imagine having to deal with him and also have to deal with like the same number of activations because it is an advantage to out activate your opponent. So Chief always being at 3 is always at least, hey, there's counterplay. I'll get to, act last or whatever. So that is.
I hope if and when they bring Marines that if you're a Spartan, you can just go swap your weapon with theirs. Because I always like that in the games where it's like, oh, you got a rocket launcher, sniper rifle, here, take my pistol.
Yeah, so here's my plasma pistol with 20% charge on it. I will take that rocket, please. So, yeah, no, I'm just tickled. I just am having a lot of fun with this game, and I'm really excited about Wargames. I think hopefully there's a list builder that comes up soon, either through Romantic or through the community or whatever needs to happen. There's already been a lot of community stuff with the TTS mod is coming along great. From the first time I played it to where it is now has just been a ridiculous improvement. So loving that kind of community involvement. So I'm just excited to, be able to play as much as I can and excited to hear more about Wargames. So is anything we've missed? Anything you want to cover? Shout out?
I want to shout out the achievement list page from the tournament, because the very last achievement listed was called Tea Time, and because this was Halo, it was very on brand, very
That was the one I
Yeah, we made
added.
we kind of went off. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you should have. Like it was, and I mean, if you know, but
Mhm.
it just warmed my heart.
Yeah.
I feel like calling it Tebow Baggins would have been too in your face. So.
I just love that there's a crouch action, and and there's people die, and
I was so frazzled trying to remember, like, keep all the rules straight and keep my wits about me trying to win, that I completely forgot to do that achievement, and that is really the only regret I've got from that day.
yeah, I think I did it to Chief. It was the square after we killed him, and I had the dead eye. I was like, well, I'm crouching anyway, so
yeah, like that's the perfect time to do it when you move in for assault. I have another action.
yeah,
I'll just crouch.
yeah, do the little got him. So that's a free point on the old achievement deal. So yeah, the achievements are great. I just love how that's on brand, and it's also kind of a neat mechanic to like a secondary objective for scoring. So cool. Well, it was great to do this with you guys. I love talking some Halo. Good to see you, Randy. Good to see you, Joe. Is there anything you want to plug, Joe? And this is your first time on the official since we've started going on Spotify.
Yeah, I actually do have something I want to plug. So my brother and a friend of ours and I have started a little podcast called Figure It Out. And we just sit around and we talk about collecting action figures, but we also talk about some of the properties that, of the action figures that we've collected, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars. We've got 3 episodes out currently with another one in the can. We're actually getting ready to do a big action figure hunt in Tulsa. So we'll be posting a lot of content for that. And because I was going to be on the Orbital drop, I brought these guys along with me to help out. And
those are
if
nice.
You're just listening, he's holding up an ODST and a Spartan.
A Spartan buck.
No, let me stop sharing so I can get a better view. Oh yeah,
there we go. So, but
very cool.
Yeah. So check us out if you're so inclined. If you need something to listen to. But yeah, that's all I've got.
Yeah, I'll put it. I'll make sure it's down in the description. And cool. Yeah, if you haven't watched the Wargames video yet, go check that out. But
sweet. Yeah, we'll have all in the description. And it was great to talk some Halo, and it was thanks for everyone for listening. And we've gotten a pretty good response, and we've gotten some pretty good responses to our Halo videos so far. So really liking talking about the games. I think we're going to keep doing it. So until next time, play us when you need us.